In this section, we are going to look at voting methods, and we're going to start with the plurality method of voting. So this is the one that we actually use in our country, and when we really vote for a lot of different things, like if you vote for American Idol or anything like that. So in the plurality method, each voter votes for one candidate, and the candidate with the most votes is going to win. That candidate does not have to have a majority, which means more than 50%. They just have to have the most votes. So think about how American Idol votes, right? You could have candidate one, you could have candidate two, and candidate three. Maybe this candidate had 42 million votes. Maybe this one had um, 38 million votes, and maybe this one had, I don't know, 44 million votes. Then we would say, well, candidate three won, but what was the total number of votes? If we were to add all of those up, we've got 42 plus 38 plus 44. We've got 124 votes total. So if I were to look at the percentages, 42 divided by 124. I'm going to erase that. 42 divided by 124 is 0.339, so 33.9%. If I take 38 and divide it by 124, I'm going to get 0.306, so about 30%. If I take 44 divided by 124, we're going to get 0.355, which is 35%. So they got 35% of the votes, but it's not the majority of all the votes that has been cast, because the majority would be defined as more than 50%. I'll write out more than. And they only received about 36% of the votes. So let's look at another example. In this example, we have different chocolate candies that were voted on. Rankings were from 1 to 5. 1 means it's the favorite, and then they kind of went down from there, with 5 being the least favorite. Okay, now we're going to care about the favorites, and I'm going to abbreviate each of these as Caramel Center CC, Vanilla Center VC, and so on. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a table to organize this data a little bit better. Now, notice they've got the number of votes down here, so we're going to have to account for that. So let's figure out who won our contest here. So we're looking at first place. So the ones with the 1. So that's what I'm really concerned about here. So I'm going to highlight those. So I've got a 1 here, I've got a 1 here, a 1 there, and 1's there. And I've got my different types of candy. So there were no one thought Caramel Center was their favorite. So that's going to be a 0. Vanilla Center, we had 1, but there were 17 that voted 1 there. So that's going to be 17. Almond Center, there were 8. That gave that a 1. Toffee Center, there was 11 plus 9. So really 20. That said that was the best. And then Solid Chocolate, there were 3 and then 2, which is a total of 5 that thought that the Solid Chocolate was the best. Now that one would be my vote. So let's figure out which one won. Who had the most first place votes? And that would be the one with the Toffee Center. So now let's turn those into percentages. So if we were to add everything up here, we would have a total of 50, and we know that because that's what they told us in the problem. So if I take 0 and I divide it by 50, 0% of my people who voted thought Carmel was the best. 17 divided by that 50 is 34%. So 34% of my voters thought the Vanilla Center was the best. 8 divided by 50 is 16%. 20 divided by 50 is 40%, and 5 divided by 50 is 10%. So if I'm looking at those percentages, so toffee's still going to have the highest percentage, but again, it's not the majority, not more than half of your population, your 50 people here, or your sample, thought it was the best. Only 40% of those who were asked thought it was the best. So that's what that example is referring to. So let's look at the board account method of voting. So if there are N candidates or issues on an election, each voter is going to rank the candidates or issues by giving N points to the voter's first choice, and then we're going to subtract a point. N minus 1 points to the voter's second choice, and so on until the least favorite choice is going to receive 1 point. The candidate or issue that receives the most total points is going to be a winner. So we're doing this on a ranking type scale. So let's look at an example. The members of a club are going to elect a president from 4 nominees using the board account method. If 100 members of the club mark their ballots as shown, who will be elected president? So again, we've got the number of voters down here at the bottom, so we're going to have to consider that. So if I'm looking at rankings here, I've got first place, second place, third place, and first place. Oops. So I've got 4 places, which means I'm distributing 4 points. So this is going to be the number of points. So first place is going to get 4 points, second place is going to get 3 points, third place is going to get 2 points, and fourth place is going to get 1 point. So let's look at Avalon. So Avalon got a 2, so that's going to be 3 points, and 30 people gave that to her. So she's going to get 3 points times 30 people. And then in this category right here, okay, this set, 2 points again. So she's going to get, second place, which means 3 points. And that's 24 people that did that to her or ranked her that way. There were 18 that ranked the candidates this way. Avalon got a second place, which means another 3 points times 18 plus 2 ranked second again. So 3 points times 12. And then now there was a set of people that ranked candidates this way. They gave her 3 in this case, so that's worth 2 points. And there are 10 people that did that. And then a ranking of 2, which is worth 3 points, and 6 people ranked the candidates in this way. So if I were to add all of those together, I'm going to get 290. So she would have a total of 290 points. And then we're going to do the same thing for Branson, and then for Columbus, and then for Dunkirk. So let's look at Branson. First place. There are 30 people who voted the candidates this way. So first place gets 4 points. So 4 points times 30 people. And then there are people that didn't like him as much. They ranked him 4th place, which is worth 1 point. This third column, another 1 point, and 18 people did that. Third place gets 2 points, and that was 12 people. Second place gets 3 points. Oops. And that's 10 people. And then more first place winners here. 4 points and 6. So that's a total of 240. And then we're going to do the same thing for Columbus and then Dunkirk. And this is where you may want to pause the video, try to come up with those numbers yourself, and then come back and compare. So we had a ranking of 3, so that's worth 2 points, and there were 30 people that ranked that way. Another ranking of 3, which is worth 2 points, and then we have 24 people. Our first place is worth 4 points, ranking with 18 people. Fourth place is worth 1 point, and that's 12 people. First place is 4 points, and that's 10 people. And then fourth place is 1 point, and that is 6 people. And then for Dunkirk, fourth place is 1 point, and that's 30 people. First place is 4 points, and that's 24 people. Third place is 2 points, and that's 18 people. First place is worth 4 points, and that's 12 people. Fourth is 1 point at 10 people. And third is 2 points at 6 people. So if I add those up, I get sums of 238 and 232. Our winner is going to be Avalon.